4 a.m. First Fruits. This is a chapter by chapter Bible study series, and we're in Job chapter 36. I'm just so excited. We have one more chapter to go before we get to hear from God. The book of Job has been a lot of speeches from men, and I'm ready to hear from the big man himself. Response to all of the speeches. If this is your first time watching this video on Job, I really suggest going back to Job 1 and starting fresh because it is a complicated book. We are still hearing from our pop surprise guest, Elihu. He tells them to be patient with me a little longer and I will inform you, for there is still more to be said on God's behalf. I will get my knowledge from a distant place and ascribe justice to my Maker. Indeed, my words are not false. One who has complete knowledge is with you. He's saying, don't worry, I'm here. I will give you all of the knowledge. A little bit of some intellectual pride there. 5. Yes, God is mighty, but he despises no one. He understands all things. He does not keep the wicked alive, but he gives justice to the oppressed. He does not withdraw his gaze from the righteous, but he seats them forever with enthroned kings, and they are exalted. There are some verses in the Bible mentioning God, but God's is different than human. Most of the times, God's is biblically directed at sin and injustice, lying, cheating. It is not about someone's value, their intrinsic personal value. If you go down to verse 10, it says, he opens their eyes to correction and tells them to repent from their iniquity. If they listen and serve him, they will end their days in prosperity and their years in happiness. Tell that to the disciples who were martyred for their belief in Jesus. But if they do not listen, they will cross the river of RIP, and RIP without knowledge. He does not have much of a different view from the other friends. And the real problem with all of the advice from Job's friends is they have this monocle view of God. And sometimes this can be our problem. Some of us view God as this judge who is harsh and quick to punish, but we forget the part of God that is a father, a good shepherd. He is gentle and lowly and loving, yet he is God. 18. Be careful that no one lures you with riches. Do not let a large ransom lead you astray. Can your wealth of all your physical exertion keep you from distress? Do not long for the night when nations will disappear from their places. Be careful that you do not turn to iniquity, for that is why you have been tested by affliction. He just assumes that he knows exactly what Job is going through, yet he has no idea about the cosmic powers at hand here. This was a cosmic test between God and Satan. Then goes on to remind Job of God's power. It is still so good to read about God. Job 36 is just another human word on Job's matter. That's why I cannot wait to hear from God. Although Elihu is not right, he does have some nice observations about God. Most of human speech is just that. We have our own view of God, observations that we see of his majesty and his glory. We have our human foolishness trickled in there. He has a profound failure to understand exactly what is going on, yet he claims to have all the knowledge. Pride. Thank you for watching this 4 a.m. and I'll see you in the next 4 a.m. when we cover Job chapter 37.